All right, hello, and a happy Thursday afternoon to everybody. Hope you're doing all right. My name is Drew Moholland, and this is Afternoon Drive on Joppa Radio. It is a busy day here. We have a lot going on. It's the homecoming week here in Newburyport, and today we get the big bed race, which is very exciting. We got Frank Bertolino in the house. He's the 4 decades almost now with the Lions Club, and it's a busy day for Frank too. So he's going to get down to the race here in a little bit. So usually I'll kind of ramble here for a few minutes, but let's change up format a little bit. Let's bring Frank right in. Frank, how you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous, and Drew, thank you for having me here today.
Absolutely, it's been we're all excited about this. We're all going to finish this show and run on down, and we won't be carrying any beds with us or anything, but we'll set up shop at the end of the race and have a big night. So we're all excited about it here.
Oh my gosh, the bed race every year is just one of those events that it pulls the community in. Everyone has a great time, and
pretty unique.
It is unique. You don't hear of it too often.
Yeah, I was telling some people not from Newburyport, and I said, well, they got the big bed race, and then they kind of look at you and say, what now?
It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, before we talk a little bit about the race, and you guys have already had a great week, Tuesday night I know was fun for you. Can we discuss 4 decades with the Lion Club? This is,
sure.
What was you say, 40 years come February? Is
February
that right?
February 1st, be 40 years for me.
Good run.
Yeah, I was 23 years old, just got out of the military, and was starting a family in Salisbury, and I was asked to join, and
here you are.
Ever since, yeah.
Proudly wearing the shirt. I like the colors. They really jump right out at you.
Makes my eyes jump out, doesn't it?
Very good, very good. So wow, very cool. And district governor as well.
Yes, I am district governor for 33N.
Pretty cool. All right, very good. I just wanted to get that resume out there because it's very impressive. 4 decades with anything these days is pretty impressive, isn't it? But
it is.
So Tuesday night it all started, right? You had it started before that, but you had a great night Tuesday night with the race downtown, and that was a lot of fun. I know, big success.
It was a great success. I'm not positive of the numbers yet, but it was about 2,900 runners.
Wow!
It was warm. But they came out, supported us. The Hoyts, by the way, from the Boston Marathon, they ran this year.
Right? Yeah.
It was a wonderful day, and I need, if I may say that, we can't make any of this possible if it wasn't for like the race, the Institution for Savings as our lead sponsor, and tonight. Watts Eye Associates, Dr. Chad McDonald and his crew, for sponsoring the bed race tonight. Just we're lucky. We're blessed with the community we have.
They really are good. They put a lot back into the community, all those businesses. So very cool there. Talk a little bit about tonight. And what we can backtrack to and talk about the race Tuesday. I don't know if you had any highlights or stories that you wanted to share. But as far as the bed race goes tonight, what can people expect if they go down at was 6 o'clock start, right?
Or 6 starts at 6, 6-ish. But my suggestion is you get there at 5.
Yeah.
Line up.
Good crowd.
It's shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
It's a ton of fun. What can you expect? Wow, I'll tell you, we have some great. They decorate these beds. They put these rails on. They decorate them. It's crazy. They fly down Federal Street. And it's all for timing. And it's just every bed that comes down is just a different. It's a different energy. It's just amazing.
Who participates in these things? Because it is kind of a wide-ranging. You kind of get people from every corner of the.
We have the police departments. We have the fire departments. We have schools. We have dance schools. We have Coast Guard. Some of the local businesses. You name it. You're there. You
get, and I'm sure there's some friendly rivalries when you're talking fire department versus police department and all that sort of good stuff, right?
There is, and I'm not going to say who always wins or most of the time, but it's within the police and the Coast Guard, and
no fire department. Have they been struggling in recent years?
They do.
Oh, boy.
They do as well. But they're busy this time of year too.
There you go, Coast Guard. I mean, that's on land too. I think the water would be the advantage for the Coast Guard. Well, anyways, so it's a big night tonight. Get down there early, you say, because it is going to be a big crowd. Yes. Always a big crowd, but it looks like the weather will cooperate tonight. So I'm sure you've had some rougher weather days here in the past for some of these events.
We have, and tonight being a little warm, it's a little, but there's refreshments down there. The Rotary, our friends at the Rotary, they do their beer and their hot dogs at the finish line. So
oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Is there any rules as far as what you can or can't bring down there? I don't want people bringing a cooler or anything if they can't do it.
Naturally, it's you can't drink in public.
Yeah.
You know, for the Rotary has a blocked off area. Yeah, you can't bring your own alcohol and that sort.
Yeah. But if you want to bring a water bottle or
Sure.
something, there you go. Stay hydrated on a good day like this. I'm sure there'll be water on the track too. Those guys must get pretty winded when guys and girls must get pretty winded when they finish there, huh?
We go through an enormous a truckload of bottled water every year, and freeze pops with the race.
Oh, freeze pops.
Yeah,
very good. That's an interesting little tidbit there. All right, yeah. Freeze pops at the finish line, or are they at
the finish line of the road race?
So yeah. Anybody not finish? You have any like collisions or crashes or?
I don't know about. No, we haven't had collisions or crashes with the bed race yet. Not yet.
Nothing breaks or anything. No beds have fallen apart on the trip down.
I think that does happen from time to time.
Yeah, well, I guess we don't even want to talk about it. It's such a devastating ending. We don't want to do that, I guess. So hopefully everybody gets off well today. What's the winning time usually for these things?
That I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the winning time, but it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick. Federal Street's a long street.
It is.
And it's downhill.
It is downhill.
So if you're not only running as fast as you can, you're kind of just trying to, stay up in the bed.
You can make an interesting twist on it for years to come. You can go up and down.
That would be interesting. Throw a jump in here and there. Yeah.
I think a lot of people are saying, why don't you do it then? Very good. Well, then let's talk a little bit about Tuesday night. You had the big race. Again, you said a huge turnout there, too. Again, a good crowd for that Tuesday night race as well?
We do. There's a lot of people come. You figure one or two people come almost for every runner that's running. It's a great community event. It pulls a lot of people, and we have everyone from 80-year-old to 8-year-olds and 6-year-olds that run these races. We do a 5K and we do a 10-mile.
That is great. So you had a big turnout for that, and I wonder, with this kind of heat out there, is anybody kind of?
We had a lot of issues.
I bet, yeah.
We had a lot of issues. People overheated.
You got to be careful out there.
We're really fortunate. Our first responders that we have in our community are magnificent.
Yep. You get a lot of volunteers out there for that. I'm sure there's people all along the route, right?
There are. There's people along the route. There's about 10 water stops along the route as well.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, a little different tonight with the shorter track, so you probably don't need too many water stops,
no,
right?
We don't need
Just get to that finish line, will you? That's good.
That's for sure.
Do you know, and so it's really just that Federal Street's probably, I'm trying to think of Federal Street. It's probably,
mile long. Maybe.
Mile, yeah. I was thinking not even, but yeah, probably. All right, so it's kind of a short for the person who doesn't has attention issues. It's a good race for you, right?
Oh, gosh. Well, it's funny. It just one right after another.
Yeah.
And people are yelling and they're screaming, and it's fun.
Absolutely. How many of the Lions Club members are you going to get down there tonight?
Well, it's funny. We'll have probably 20 or so members there working it. But we also had this year, we're doing something a little bit different. There's a bed race, a Lions Club in England, who does the same thing.
No kidding.
One of our members, Andy, reached out and found out they let us use their logo in their shirts. So this year, Dr. Watts bought 300 shirts for us to sell.
Wow.
We're selling them for $10. And it's a magnificent, you wait till you see it. It's really a lot of fun logo.
Cool.
And I think something that's important that I would like to say is 100% of the funds that we raise, that Lions Club raise worldwide, for our communities, local charities, and projects worldwide. Nothing, and it goes directly to the receivers. Not a penny, and I mean not a penny, goes towards marketing, organization, administrative. So the money we raise on every project we do goes to 100% to where it's supposed to go. No administrative fees. We run the entire worldwide organization on our dues.
Wow, no kidding. That is fantastic.
Yeah, it's different.
Well, good for you guys. I mean, that's just that's fantastic. And I would love to see maybe we'll take a picture for the Twitter later of the Lions Club logo.
We'll get you a shirt. I promise you a shirt.
Right, very good. I mean, I don't know if it can look as good as that. That's a good looking shirt you get on right there.
But thank you.
Oh, you got the name too. I didn't even see the name.
Yeah.
Good for you. Again,
we know how to do it here in Newburyport.
That's right. Again, we're joined by Frank Bertolino here.
Bertolino.
Bertolino. I told you I was going to do that. I went to school with a Bertolino. That's
there
why.
There are Bertolonis out there. Yeah,
Bertolino. Yeah, well, Frank Bertolino.
Those are the Bertolino wannabes.
I'm going to give myself at least one or two more of those before we're done here. Just I got it in my head, and it's one of those things where I can't get out of my own way on that one. Frank Bertolino in the house. 4 decades with the Lions Club come February, which is an amazing run. Getting excited tonight for the bed race, and for those of you coming out, bring water, dress appropriately, because it's going to be a hot night. It's funny, you live here your whole life, but you still get caught off guard by the weather sometimes, don't you?
Yeah,
Strange.
you do. You really do.
Mm-hmm. You can still complain about it too. People complain all winter about the cold, and then the summer comes and complaining about the heat. There's no.
You can't please us.
That's the way it is, right? What else? What are events? Because I was going through the website on the Yankee Homecoming week, and you guys have like this stuff going on every single day around here. It's unbelievable.
It's amazing what we do year round. The Newport Lions. It's funny. We're pretty quiet, but we help an awful lot, and we put thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars back into our community that we raise. And we do everything from this. We have a great Leo's Club at the high school. We do 50-50s dances. We do all these sort of things, and we're a pretty active club. Yeah. And I'm going to segue into August 27th.
I like it when you do the segue.
August 27th, we have one of our meetings at the Starbury Galley at 6 o'clock. Dinner starts at 6:30. Yep. I'm inviting you to be my guest.
Oh.
Come sit in on a meeting, have a meal with us on me, and maybe you'll learn a little more about what Lions are all about.
All right.
And you're welcome too.
Lexi, I get a +1.
You got a +1.
Excellent. All right, August 27th. Well, I'll check the calendar and go to my boss, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course. I believe I know what you mean.
All right, very good. Well, I appreciate that. Why don't we do this, Frank? We'll take our first quick break here. And then we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more about the week that is and get ready for tonight. And it should be a fun night. Again, we get the big bed race downtown. We're joined here by Frank Bertolino with the Lions Club. And he got 20 guys down there from the Lions Club all putting this together tonight. So they do a great job, and it should be a big night. Don't forget that we here will be covering the race. We're going to have a spot at the finish line. Haven't exactly seen the layout yet. I know all these guys behind the scenes are rigorously working at it, and they're going to give us a nice little setup down there. We'll have a little showdown at the bed race tonight, and I don't know, maybe I'll work on my horse racing call for the finish or something like that. Hey, down the stretch they come, right? Absolutely. But producers today, by the way, Lexi Foley is in the house, David Kramer on the TV side, so big thanks to those guys. And I'll do this before we're another time before we're done here for the day, but a big thanks to them for all the hard work they do. And those off-site productions are not the easiest thing in the world to do. It takes a lot of moving parts. So Lexi, David, Tyler Neufeld, Sarah Hayden, all these guys do a lot of work. So props to them on a day like today, a busy day here at the radio station as we do the off-site stuff with the bed race later on. So keep it here, much more with Frank Bertolino in just a moment. Be right back. All right, welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. Hope you're all having a good Thursday afternoon here. The weekend is right around the corner. We almost made it. It is our last show of the week. As far as next week goes, by the way, get a couple good guests, I think, already lined up. Haven't finalized them, but next week is looking very promising from my point of view on the guest front. And we've done it again here today with Frank Bertolino, Lions Club, getting ready for the big night tonight down at the bed race. Frank, one thing I just loved is my producer here today, Lexi Foley, is a high schooler, and even during the break, you're trying to get a feel for what the high schoolers need there at the school, which is, I thought, a very cool thing here, behind the scenes, which is very nice and kind of gives an idea of what you guys do over there.
It's nice for clubs like ourselves, to get out there and assess the community and see just what's needed in the community. We, as affluent of the community as we have a lot of people that are in need.
Yeah.
And that's what, we fall in and we help. It's just not for blindness and vision and diabetes and hunger. It's for we cover it all.
Yeah.
And so that's why when I'm out and about and I try to find out wherever I happen to be throughout the state to find out what's needed in those areas so our local clubs can get out there and do what makes us feel good.
Does anything surprise you these days on that front? Anything that maybe the common person doesn't think about? Like, oh, really? I didn't realize that was such a big problem in Newburyport.
Yeah, I think homelessness is a big problem everywhere.
I bet that does surprise a lot of people.
It's scary. And, we do a Lions Club, every Thanksgiving Day, we do a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
We feed about 250 people, of which a third of them are homeless in some sort of way.
Yeah.
Homelessness is just not out there living in a tent out in the woods. I mean, it's living in a motel. It's, not having a lot of these children, they go to school, they get ready in the car. I mean, it's tough. We shouldn't be living that way. Yeah,
and you're right. It is pretty much every major city, but even it depends on how you consider Newburyport, whether it's a major city. It's not Boston, but it's all the cities really do have issues with that throughout Massachusetts. Really, in some sort, numbers vary, but you're right. It is a major issue not only in this state but really across the country. So that's good. Anything else along those lines?
Another thing, childhood diabetes. It's growing tremendously. And then we're working, the Lions International, worldwide, we're working on that. Education, it's one thing to get out there and find something and help people do, but to educate people.
Yeah.
How to take care of Lions' eye health. Diabetes. It's one of the biggest forms of blindness out there.
Yeah, that's not the one I was going to guess. Now I've learned something. There you go. That's very interesting. Again, Frank Bertolino in the house here as they get ready for the big bed race. You can listen to the coverage of the bed race tonight right here on Joppa Radio. I'll be down there at the finish line. Frank will be around. You'll probably be doing some radio, meeting and greeting. What, you just kind of bouncing around everywhere? Is that the deal with you?
We'll have a blast.
should be fun, and we'll have the whole crew down there. We'll take some pictures too. Don't forget the Joppa Radio Twitter account at Joppa Afternoons, JOPPA Afternoons on Twitter at Joppa Afternoons. So it should be a lot of fun. What's past years? What's been the any stories or highlights that you come to mind right off the bat? I'm sure you got a million of them, but
gosh. Oh God, I don't know.
It could be good or bad, I guess.
Yeah, I don't really think we have any bad. Sometimes people crowd out into the roadway a little bit too much, and it gets close.
Yeah.
I don't really think we have anything bad.
Yeah.
And the good. I mean, you just look at the faces of everybody. Yeah. Having a wonderful time, and and it's families.
Yeah.
It's not just. Just the adults out there, it's families.
Yeah, that is probably one of the cool parts about it. You get the parents bringing the kids down, and it probably is a really good. It's probably cooler for the 8-year-old, I would say, maybe than kind of maybe a road race, because this is kind of unique, right?
Yeah. Positively.
Maybe they don't quite respect the art form of running a long road race yet, but they can probably get their heads around running down the hill or the bed, right?
I don't even think about it. Every kid would love to try that.
Yeah.
And the costumes of the way people dress.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Is there an age limit, by the way, for this? Do you have to be a certain age, or is it just kind of?
No. Well, I don't think they'd let young kids push a bed down there without some kind of separate type of control. But no, there's no age limit.
Who's the oldest participant you've had? Do you know?
Oh my gosh, I'd have to say. Well, in a bed, I wouldn't be. Today, Lions Club has a bed tonight. We're going to run, and
how'd you hide
they're
that?
going to run on me.
How'd you hide that part from me? You guys are in
just came to me again, and the gentleman that's going to be in the bed Steve Barron, he's our immediate past president. He was born blind.
No kidding.
He this story is amazing. He was born blind, brought up, and once he married, his wife would drop him off at the train station in the morning. He'd work his way into Boston by train, get to where he was working, work all day, leave work, go back to the train station, and take the train back home to Newburyport.
Wow.
Blind. But he's going to be in the bed tonight wearing a lion's costume.
Wow.
So
like a your lions or like a lion?
Oh,
costume?
a lion costume. Yeah.
Very all right. Well, that's good. That should be a lot of fun. That is a great story. How about that for? And how many years did you do that for in Boston?
Oh God, his whole life.
Wow.
Yeah, he just retired.
Unbelievable. What a story.
Yeah, so he's going to be in the bed.
How old's he?
Oh, I have to guess, Steve. Oh my God, forgive me, Steve. I'm going to say maybe 60-ish.
Okay, good for him. So he'll be in the bed tonight. For those wondering who's in the big lion costume,
that's going to be Steve Barron.
There you go. Very exciting. Let's talk a little bit more about the Lions Club. And I know every year you guys probably reevaluate what you want to kind of go after, goals, I guess, like everybody does during a course of a year. What are the priorities this year for the Lions Club?
Well, it's as I mentioned, it's research, education, to prevent and cure blindness, diabetes, hunger. But we also get into, some of the parts of the world where water is scarce or non-existent. We raise funds to get out there and dig these wells and get these people clean water, because there was. I forget which country it was, blindness was at a very young age, and it was because of the water they were drinking was one of the big, so we get into that part as well. Yeah. We collect eyeglasses. In fact, the Lions Club got from the post office a mailbox. We painted it, put our logos on it. It's parked smack dab right in front of the Newburyport Library. We collect 300 to 400 pairs of used eyeglasses every month.
Okay.
And think about that. Every month out of one community, and we bring those back. They're washed, they're read, the prescriptions are read, they're marked, and then they're sent overseas, because we can't distribute those here in the United States.
Is it just word of mouth? How do people know to get them to you?
Well, word of mouth.
Wow,
that's what it is. Word of mouth.
It's impressive. That's a lot of eyeglasses. Man.
It is, and there's nothing for us to send 10,000 pair to some foreign country or some island somewhere, along with the people that will give a basic eye exam and match them up, the glasses up with the people.
Yeah.
And other than that, they'd have no way to get them.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, that's another thing that we forget. For many years, Lions were, aren't you the people that sell the light bulbs?
Yes.
Yeah, well, we still do that, but I'll tell you, that's just a teeny little piece of what we do. It's
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, very, very cool. That is a good story. And as you talk about the water issues, I mean, if you even hit this country, if you think about it, just the Flint, Michigan water crisis not too long ago. The water issues are a scary thing when it hits your community.
It is.
Good for you guys for helping out, even outside of the borders of the United States, which is pretty cool.
Lions International is worldwide. We're in China, we're just Russia, everywhere now.
Yeah.
And
how does it work as far as like communities? Do you have one like per region, or does like Salisbury have a Lions Club?
Yes.
Okay.
Just in our area right here, we have Newburyport has a club, Salisbury has a club, Ainsbury has a club, Merrimack, not Georgetown yet. We're working on Georgetown, Haverhill.
Yeah.
I mean,
you say you're working on it. You're trying. So if you don't have one, you're trying to get one.
If we don't have one, we're working to open them up.
Interesting.
And they bring communities. Lions Clubs bring communities together.
What makes you do? I mean, obviously it's a great thing, but I've been a part of several great things, and I do a couple of years, and it's on to the next thing. What makes you stick with a club for 40 years, like you're about to do here in February? It's something that's going to keep reinvigorating you every year, right, Frank?
Yeah, it is. We have what we call an iMobile. We get out to communities and we do actual vision and hearing screenings.
Okay.
And we have people that come that, twofold. We'll have people that come that can't afford or don't know how to afford an eye exam or glasses.
Yep.
We take care of that for them. We give them the exam, the basic exam.
You go out and do it all.
If we find an issue, we'll hook them up with an optometrist to get a proper exam, and then we'll go as far as if they need to to buy glasses for them.
Wow.
We take care of that. But that's one thing. Another part of that is the United States is a giant melting pot now, and we have people here that, I hate this term, but I'm going to have to use it, illegal. They're here, and they don't want anybody to know they're here.
Yep.
They're hardworking. Okay.
You can't really hide from that issue anymore these days, can you? With the being on the front page of the newspaper, well, at least once a week.
But they come to us at these screenings because we're not the officials, and we'll help them get what they need.
Is that right? That's fascinating.
Okay, that's something right there. And then you do it again the next year. I get choked up. You do it again the next year, and the parents show up because you got their kid glasses, and the kid can now excel in school.
Yeah.
But then they show up and they'll bring you a cake or a meat pie or something they don't forget. A year's gone by, they don't forget. That's a part of it.
Well, you changed
then
a life.
Another part of it too is we've changed a life, and a lot of times the lives of an entire family.
Yeah.
Another part of it is when you go to a place and it's like a senior center, and the seniors come out to have their screening, and you start talking with them, and they just had an exam and new glasses 3 months ago. But they're there because it's an hour of spending time with someone they don't usually spend time with, someone who's going to pay attention to them. And
it's fantastic.
When you go home at night, you sit down and you think about what you just did. That's huge.
That's great. And you still get choked up about it. That's as good as it gets, right?
That's as good as it gets.
Yeah. And that's what you do it for, I think. When you, when you mentioned how you help the people that may sometimes come to you, and I'm assuming, you're not just, maybe sometimes you can guess that the person's coming to you because they have nowhere else to go. You can probably make that assumption. But I'm sure some people just straight up tell you, without you guys, you're my only avenue here.
Positively.
Yeah.
And we hear that. We hear that often. Sometimes people are a little too proud, so you got to pry it out.
Yeah.
Like our Thanksgiving dinner, we'll have people come in, single parents with kids.
Yeah.
People you can tell are homeless, and they come in and they'll sit and have a fabulous Thanksgiving dinner with us.
Yeah.
And we send them home, or we send them wherever they may be living with more food.
Yeah.
And last year, the year before last, a lady came in and she was living in a tent, and we kind of pried it out of her. We didn't let her go back to the tent that night. We found her a place to go,
no
place
kidding.
to stay.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. All right, Fred, Fred, do you have one more segment left in you? I know it's pushing up on 3:30. Do a few more minutes. I know you're going to get over to the race that we're all eventually heading down to tonight. You get a lot of prep work to do, though, so I promised you I'd get you a little bit early. But let's do one more segment with you when we get back. Much more with Frank Bertolino in just a moment. My name is Drew Moholland. It is Afternoon Drive on Joppa Radio. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
Broken woman right next door, or a man far away, the ghost that haunts you at night, or the shadow in the day, a dark cloud when it's following you's a sure sign of rain. And don't look over your shoulder, 'cause it'll never be the same until you come out. Turn off that damn TV, I already know the news. I don't need misinformation, it just makes me more confused. If you filter through the filters, you might find a speck of truth, but you had best believe you're only hearing what they want you to. the devil about all the lies they've sold. The mind's an easy target in a propaganda war as they fight to win our favors with their money and their whores. But I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying anymore. A nation of consumers, we will eat what we are fed. It doesn't matter that it's only junk food for the head. Who cares if there is less for you? That just means more for me. And with sated belly fat and round, I dare not disagree. Well, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying How can we have an answer if we don't have questions first? How can we know salvation if we never have known thirst? We hope for the best, but we still accept the worst. Accept the worst. So I turn off that damn TV. I already know the news, and I don't need misinformation. It just makes me more confused. And if you filter through the filters, you might find a speck of truth, but you have best believe you're only hearing what they want you to hear. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying anymore.
All right, welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. Having a great conversation here with Frank Bertolino. Almost 4 decades with the Lions Club come February, so it's been good as we get ready for the bed race tonight that the Lions Club is going to be all along the track there. I think he said 20 members or so, all down there helping out, and they have a Lions Club bed as well. So look for the lion, right?
Look for the lion.
There you go. I guess that makes sense. There would be a lion. Excellent stuff. So again, that's tonight. Frank here suggests, we were just talking off the air, probably good to be in place at like 5:30 tonight. The show gets underway, as they say, at 6 o'clock. But it will be pretty packed along the route, and it's not that long of a route either. Like like Tuesday's race, for instance. Yeah. So people kind of get all put together in one close quarters, and so get down there, leave yourself a little extra time, and especially on a hot night. So stay hydrated too, I guess, is probably good advice. And of course there'll be refreshments and all that stuff in the area, but always good to be safe. Drink that gallon of water beforehand, or do whatever you got to do. Frank, we're talking. We've talked about all sorts of stuff. Actually, we're just talking about my hometown, Danvers, another big Lions Club chapter there, right?
Yeah, Danvers is a very active club, and they're growing all the time.
I see a lot of shirts around town. A lot of the Lions Club members tend to wear the shirts proudly, don't they?
We do. We wear our shirts. We wear our pins proudly.
Yeah.
And it speaks a lot about Lions.
Absolutely. What when you talk about this, you are getting pretty. I would say you're getting pretty lucky with the weather this week, right? This is pretty good week to have all these events.
Positively.
real great excuse to get out tonight. It's a Thursday night. Weekend's just about here. Good time to come on down to the bed race, right?
Hey, you know something? If you live in Newburyport, every day is a good excuse to get out.
Hey, absolutely. Hey, hang on one second. Tyler has just emerged. What did you say, Tyler?
You gotta turn your mic down.
Oh, Mike's a little loud. A little hot there on the radio, apparently. There we go. Sorry. Tyler's probably listening on the way in. See, that's how good of a producer he is.
That's dedication.
That's dedication.
I won't take the credit.
Oh, so, never mind. Sorry, Hayden. Are you guys swapping in? Now, Tyler Newfell is now producing. How about this? Tyler, you just been down to the track, is that right?
Just now?
Yeah, were you down there? I heard you were running stuff around.
No, I went to go to the doctor's, but there's.
Oh, we went to the doctor's. We got bad information,
Hey,
Frank.
you gotta be ready.
We heard you were already working.
Yeah, really.
Okay, no, he has not been working yet. So very good. We'll pick this up after the interview. Then we'll make sure we're all set up. Again, we will be at the finish line tonight here on Joppa Radio. At the finish line of the bed race, Frank here will be down there, and I'm sure there'll be all sorts of characters as we get ready for a big night. Have you talked with the group that's actually bringing the beds down for you guys? You get is your crew ready? Let's put it that way.
Well, the crew's ready for sure. I haven't spoke to anybody yet for tonight. The runners, but our crew's ready. And you know, if you haven't, if you're deciding right now you want to do it, hey, throw something together and come on down.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's too late.
No, it's never too late.
All right, very good. So you can still, if you're inspired by this interview right here, you can still get involved if you want. That's what you're saying.
Positively sign up 10 minutes to 6.
All right, very good. So that'll be exciting. And I guess so. We get going around 6 o'clock. How long does this thing usually last down there?
Depends on how many beds we end up with, but we're usually done by 8ish.
Yeah. How many beds are you expecting?
And anywhere from 14 to 20 as a rule.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there a does it get? Oh, you did mention earlier. There's some competitiveness that goes along with this.
There is.
You know, fire departments, police departments, coast guards. You know, there's some bragging rights on the line. Is there? Have you learned over the years? Is there like some tricks of the trade here? Is there some whether you want to put a certain person up front of the bed? You want the anchor in the back? I mean, I have no idea about how this.
Well, there are specifications on what how the bed can be made. I don't know what they are, but there are specifications for that. Okay. So you are limited that way. Okay. But let's face it, it's all about power. And when you get some of these young police officers or firefighters or a Coast Guard, well, those first responders, which we all appreciate very much, when they get cooking down that hill and they get pushing, let's face it.
There can be some quick times.
There's some quick times.
Absolutely. And again, so you get to the track there, because if you blink, you can miss some of these big races, or these big bed races as you go down, but you got about 15 to 20 tries, as Frank's saying. So there'll be a lot of beds down there tonight. And yes, we'll be here on the radio as well. As far as this whole week goes, I mean, we're coming to the end of the homecoming week, and it's a great time of year here. It's kind of the just turned the calendar to August. It's kids are kind of relishing the final month before they have to get back to school, or a month or so. College kids go back a little earlier, but it's a good time to be here in Newburyport, isn't it?
It is. Let's face it though, anytime's a good time to be in Newburyport, but this week it's just you got about 10 days of just magnificent.
Yeah. You like the first 10 days of August? Is that?
I mean, let's face it. It's the Yankee homecoming. It's music every night. There's all kinds of things downtown, day and night. Yeah. A lot of activities.
How about you? So you said you grew up in Salisbury, or?
I grew up in Salisbury.
Yeah. Okay.
I graduated Triton in 1973.
A Triton guy.
Yeah.
Some of the Clippers just cringed.
That's all right.
One of the best rivalries, I always say. I'm sure it still is. I always say the one thing I always love about that rivalry, and I used to do a lot of the hockey games, and I've done some basketball for them on the play-by-play side. And one thing I always loved, especially on the hockey side, you see like a lot of those physical battles and a little bit of real disdain during the game, and then at the end of the game, it's like the most respectful thing. I've never seen any cheap shots or anything. It's always handshake line. Hats off to you, and that's it. And I always said it's a great rivalry in the sports terms, and I just think it's a nice little rivalry in general between two schools.
I agree with that, and we have to hand it to our coaches. Yeah, the coaches teach that.
I always think that rubs off well on the coaches when they see their kids go out there and battle for however long during a game, and then you see some respectful stuff in the handshake line afterwards. I always think that's good. So a Triton's good for you. So what was let's see, I'm trying to think. Things have changed a little bit as far as the districting drawing of that, right? Was it always the same three communities of Triton? Or?
Triton was always the same three. It was Newbury, Rowley, and Salisbury, and
Yeah.
Newbury encompasses Byfield.
So okay. So and the numbers I think have gone up, right? Triton I think has. I mean, I guess all schools tend to go up when there's just more people born into these communities
Yeah,
now.
let's face it.
But,
The communities are growing quickly.
Yeah. Do you go back? You connected to Triton at all, or you?
Oh my
you're more-
goodness, we have our 45th class reunion coming up.
Wow, 45.
And this fall.
Who organizes a 40? Your class advisor still?
It's funny. We have a core group of us that stay together. We even go out to dinner every couple months together, and we meet. And we're a pretty tight crew.
45, man.
Yeah.
You know, we struggled to get I'm not even at. I guess what am I at? 2000. So we've done 10. I remember our 10-year high school reunion was. We kind of struggled to put it together. 45, unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, maybe a little bit now is just everyone wants to come to see who's still alive.
Yeah. There probably is some truth to that, right?
Who still has hair and who doesn't?
Yeah. I can see that actually. So yes, maybe more incentive as you get older to get to these things in more ways than one. That's very good. And you probably become better planners as you get older too. I think you probably realize the mistakes of past reunions or whatever.
Oh yeah.
We've had some of those too.
Yeah.
But very interesting. So 45 years, man. That's incredible. And you're born in the area and stayed in the area. One of those. There seems to be. I mean, I have no real numbers to back this up, but that seems to be more common in this neck of the woods than anywhere else I've ever been. People that are born here, and you know what? They just loved it too much to go anywhere else. You know?
Yeah,
I'm one of them, I guess.
I think, you know, when you look at it, we have. A lot of people don't mind traveling the hour to work. You can Portland, Boston.
Yeah. I work with people who come up from there, come down from there.
Yeah, plenty of jobs, and just locally around Newburyport.
Yeah.
You know, lots of great jobs.
Yeah.
Andover, you know, we're close.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a happening place, and to live here, it's a nice distance from the other big city of Boston. And want to go to a Red Sox game or something? It's an easy jet in. So
yeah, you jump on the train. Now you can jump on the train, go in, you know, do what you're gonna do, have a drink or two, and drive and take the train home. You don't have to worry about driving.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is nice having the train stop in town too. I do not have that at Danvers. We have to go to one of the Beverleys
Salem,
or Beverly usually for me. I guess some people could do Salem, but yeah, that is a nice thing that the commuter rail offers, and public transit actually around this part of the as old and as bad as the T and as much as you can complain about the public transit, it's nice to have it. Let's put it that way. And that's why it is so bad when those things happen when they have a bad winter for the MBTA or something. It's so newsworthy because so many people depend on it. You know?
Oh gosh, it's the truth. You take a look at the parking lot every Monday morning.
Jam-packed here?
Jam-packed.
Crazy. Yeah. Unbelievable. Well, we will be jam-packed tonight at the Newburyport bed race. I know I look at the clock here, and you're supposed to be down there in 15 minutes or so we'll get you out of here momentarily. Final thoughts, Frank Bertolino, Lions Club. You guys are going to be all over this track tonight. Why don't you tell the people one final time to get on down to the bed race tonight? Yeah, come on down and get down there. Try to be down there 5:30 or so, 5:45. Grab a great spot. Hang out with your friends, make new friends, and have a blast. The Newburyport Lions Club. We meet the second and fourth Monday of every month at the Starboard Galley. Yep. You're welcome to come down and, meet with us, join with us, have a meal with us, learn a little more about what we do. We're always looking for new members to help us do what we do. Newburyport Lions are, as all Lions worldwide, are men and women who strive to make a difference in their local community, country, and world. So, we're always looking for new. And one thing I forgot to mention, my goodness, how did I forget this? We sponsor, here in Massachusetts, we have a diabetes camp for children every summer. And we bring these kids together that are born with diabetes, or they've developed childhood diabetes. They're with other kids just like them who have to be careful how they eat, what they eat. They're taught what to eat. They're taught how to put meals together, how to check their blood. All that sort of thing. And that's another thing that we do. And is sometimes parents are so busy with work. In this day and age, they're working, and so we kind of help with that part. And
again, we're just blessed.
You guys do a little bit of everything, don't you?
We do.
That's very cool. Again, Frank Bertolino here. I learned a little bit myself today about the Lions Club, and thank you for the offer for the 27th. I will talk to my wife and make sure we're in town, but I will make sure to get in touch with you, and I appreciate the offer. Thank you very much.
Appreciate
Have
that,
a nice night out at the Lions Club, and to learn a little bit more. Like I said, some of that stuff, I know Lexi, who was in here earlier in high school, couldn't believe some of the stuff you guys were doing. So it must be kind of refreshing for you to see a young face absorb some of that stuff, right?
I love to see.
Look at this.
That's the way to get a hold of me. I love to see these young kids start to learn about this, listen and hear what we do.
Yeah.
And you can see their minds starting to work and it's starting to go. And if it's go home and knock on the door of the neighbor and say, "Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Is your air conditioning still working? Can I help you with something?" If that, or say, "Hey, look, I want to join the club and I want to get out there and start helping more people."
Yep.
It's just what it is.
Absolutely. Well, Frank, it's been a pleasure. This is my first time meeting you, so enjoyed it very much. It goes by fast, doesn't it? I always say it's a very fast hour here.
It is.
And I know you're going to get down to the race here, and I'll be seeing you later today because, again, we will be covering the race right here on Joppa Radio tonight. You can tune in and listen if you can't get down there, but try to get down there. Either way, it's good for radio. We can you'll either be listening or you'll be making noise, making it sound all good in the background for us later on tonight. But it will be very exciting. Newburyport bed race tonight. For Frank's advice is get down there around 5:30 because it's going to get pretty crowded by the time things really get underway at 6 o'clock tonight. Yeah. So always an exciting event. And go for it. Last
just
word.
One more thing.
Absolutely.
I just want to ask everyone: have you hugged your favorite lion today?
Wow, very good, very good. And you'll see a lion on the racetrack today.
There you go.
On the is it a racetrack? Is that
I guess you can call it
a route? I don't know. But either way, you guys will have the lion in the bed there tonight. So that's how you identify with the Lions Club later on tonight. 6 o'clock. Get on down there. If you can't get there, you can listen right here on Joppa Radio. Frank Bertolini, thank you so much, man. Did I get it right?
No. Bertolino.
Bertolino. I knew I got it wrong that time. I said I told myself I was going to do it a second time. I knew it. Frank Bertolino. And for my friend there back home with the last name Bertolini, he has ruined me for the day. I'm going to get it out of my head by the time we get to the race tonight. Frank Bertolino, thank you so much for coming on here today. Again, Lions Club, 4 decades come February.
Yes.
What an achievement, really.
Thank you.
4 decades of anything these days. Pretty impressive, but outstanding work with the Lions Club. We got to learn a lot about it today. We'll see Frank later on tonight at the bed race. I'm going to let him get down to the race right now. We'll come back and finish strong here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
My heart used to sing, happiness bring, not anymore. Not any more than what I can be. So to speak, I'm just me. I'm just me. Feel the presence of the other side, trying to collide with who I'm not, who I'm not. I want to stay here on the dark side.
Welcome back to Afternoon Drive on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. As we've been telling you all day here, we have a very busy / long day. I have my coffee ready, and that's probably not the last coffee before the day's over. We have the bed race tonight. You can hear it right here on Joppa Radio. And really the whole kind of crew is putting this together today. We're going to be down at the finish line. I think, Tyler, you're going to be sitting with me, right? We're going to do some radio together. Are you going to... Good. Tyler's going to sit next to me. We'll keep you entertained. And, we have kind of a whole effort of people going to find other people to talk to. And I've done this before where I've had these two particular guests on, workers here. And I know they've had the chance to introduce themselves, but let's do it again. Girls, just because you're not on every day, why don't you introduce yourselves to the crowd here?
Hi, I'm Lexi Foley.
Yes, Lexi was producing earlier. You're not confused by that? Yes.
And I'm Jess Harrington.
All right. So Lexi and Jess, you two know more about what we're doing for this race tonight than anybody else. So how big of a project has it been?
I know Lex has worked on it a lot. I'm honestly just helping out today.
You're jumping on here at the end, Jess?
Yep.
It's just a lot of emailing back and forth. Right now, it's all set, so
much organization is, right? What are we all set up? We get a spot at the finish line? Have you already seen this?
We got a start at the finish, a start at the start, and a place in the middle. So we're doing 3 different camera angles.
We have 3 different posts?
We have 3 different posts, and we're going to film from each post, and then radio is going to be at the end, too.
Okay, and the filming is for, it's not going to be live, right? We're going to tape back the filming, is that right?
We're going to film it, and then we're going to edit it all together, so you have, a whole
Make it one big fancy production for later? Cool. You can listen live on the radio, though. We'll try to make that interesting. Tyler, I was saying I thought we might work on the, Kentucky Derby call, down the stretch they come, that sort of thing. Yeah. Or maybe not. We'll see how that works. Jess, you say you've just jumped on at the very end here. Are you just taking orders from Lexi at this point? Is that what you're doing?
Apparently. So I hear. Yeah, she's very much in charge. But basically what I'm just doing is pulling people who have just finished to talk to you guys. Yeah, to talk to you guys.
That's so kind of you.
Yeah, I know.
So we don't have to go running after people?
Exactly.
It's good.
You'll be a little bit busy.
Do you have water or something? It's hot out there.
Yeah, maybe I should have plastic cups with some refreshments for people. They're probably going to be sweating.
Or for you if you're running after people.
Well,
that's what I was thinking.
Race.
Well, yeah, I guess so. It's a short track.
I'll bring a water bottle.
Oh, good.
You're
all
right.
I'm just trying to I just want to make sure everybody's hydrated. That's all. Lexi, so you've been doing a lot of emails here. What's the toughest part about doing an event like this? Is it just...
I think it's coordinating it between so many different people and trying to figure out who's going to be where and who's going to do what and what aspects need to be done and what do we just kind of get rid of.
Yeah. So you've been pulling your hair out at times, is that right? Yep. Okay. It's a very short, sweet answer. I like that. Jess, you know what I wanted to talk to you about? Because I haven't had you on since you did your freedom of speech weekend thing here. How'd it go? I know we had you on to preview it, so why don't you just pay it off? How'd it go 2 weekends ago, right?
Yep. It was awesome. It actually went really great. Everything was super smooth, and we had a lot of great conversations and little crafts. So one of the stations that we had, I actually forgot to mention the last time I was here. And
What?
It was, yeah, I know. I was really disappointed in myself. But I'm redeeming myself now.
There you
so
go. Good recovery.
Yeah, it's letter writing. I don't think I mentioned it. It's basically you can write a letter, handwrite it. We have a bunch of stationery and really beautiful pens for calligraphy or just nice writing. And you can write to congressmen or local government, or you can just write to a family member or a friend or just document a time in history, just because handwriting is kind of a lost art.
I know. I hear they don't even teach it anymore. Is that right?
Cursive, they don't. Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I write all my cards in cursive still, my notes.
People don't even know how to read it anymore.
Maybe that's a problem.
Craziness.
That's why nobody shows up when No, I'm just kidding.
No one responds.
Yeah, I think my cursive I always thought was neater than my prints.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine never got that strong because we learned it 1 year.
Really?
Even when I was younger, yeah. So
I have now the combination, that combination of I think a lot of adults have it where there's a print and cursive combination. You kind of forget what that letter is. So yeah, it can be.
It's easier.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that went well though.
Yes, it did.
Another success. That was the second annual?
Second annual.
And there
Yep.
will be a third annual?
Yeah, there will be. And also for the letter writing stations, we're going to try and have those every month or
Okay.
so, or maybe every 2 months, so we're working that out. But if you're subscribed to our newsletter, anybody listening, you'll be hearing about that. Or if you're not, you can go onto the website and subscribe to that.
All right, very good. Jess Harrington there. Lexi, I will end with you because this is kind of the night of the bed race that you've been doing so much. Is this your first time kind of
Yeah.
doing this with the station?
It's my first time doing.
Was your
any of
first
this.
question, what is the bed race, or have you been brought up with this?
No, I've been
I mentioned the
doing
bed race to
cheerleading.
people that aren't from around here, and they're like, nah, say that again? The
They're
what?
so confused. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had to explain it to so many people. It's
Including me.
basically where you like run. Yeah, she was like, "Do you carry it?"
Hopefully.
No clue.
Yeah, okay. So you've had to explain this to a lot of people.
Oh yeah, I've done it.
So this is your first time doing it. Anything that you've learned along the way that is a fun fact that people can take with them tonight, or besides the fact that you almost went crazy trying to organize it? But that's every organizer knows the deal with that.
They've been doing it for years. I didn't realize how long they've been doing it. It's been
Yeah.
16 years, like consecutive. They've been putting it together. That's wild to me.
Well, you caught Frank Bertolino's eye with the Lions Club conversations. I know he was very flattered about that when he started telling those great stories, and he goes, wow, a young person that was interested. That was fantastic. So I know that made his day. So we'll see Frank down there. Tonight, 6 o'clock, we go on. Frank was suggesting that people get down there around 5:30 because it does get pretty crowded. It's not like Tuesday night's road race where there's a lot of track, to spread out on. It's a shorter route, so people are really shoulder to shoulder. So leave yourself some time if you want a good spot. If you can't get down there, you can listen right here on Joppa Radio. We will have a whole production for you. Looking forward to it. We'll be at the finish line, and Jess, Lexi, Tyler, David, Sarah, the whole crew has done a good job getting us all prepared for this before we go on the air at 6. So we're going to leave you here. That is our show. That is Afternoon Drive, but you get the bonus show tonight with the bed race show here on Joppa Radio in just, let's see, till there be no math involved, in 2 hours and 1 minute. There you go, 3:59. So in a couple hours, we'll go back on the air with the road race. Should be exciting. You girls, I think you're running right down there. Is that the deal?
Yep.
Both
Right now.
literally get out of the studio and run right there?
Yep.
Okay.
The plan.
That sounds good. I'm probably going to need another coffee. Do you drink coffee, Tyler?
Oh, I have a panic attack. I do.
He's a panic attack. All right. That's a great way to end the show, Tyler. Thank you. A tea kind of guy. Well, we should probably keep it that way. Then, Lexi, thank you for your producing today as Tyler was doing whatever Tyler was doing. And thank you all for another great show. We will see you guys tonight at 6 o'clock. More Afternoon Drive next week. Got some great guests already lined up, so keep it here. Next week, Tuesday and Thursday, 3 o'clock. Follow us on Twitter at Joppa Afternoons. That's at Joppa Afternoons. 6 o'clock tonight, the Newburyport Bed Race. We have it for you right here. I'll be at the finish line with the whole crew. So we will see you then. My name is Drew Moholland, and this has been Afternoon Drive on Joppa Radio.
Low and his heart was just another place to hide.
Hi, this is David Yang, Artistic Director of the Newburyport Chamber Music Festival, and you're listening to WJOP-LP Newburyport, Joppa Radio 96.3 FM.
Joppa Radio 96.3 FM would like you to know the Boys and Girls Club of the Lower Merrimack Valley in Salisbury offers education and health programs, sports and recreation, and after-school enrichment programs. See bglmv.org for details.
Stare right here and let me bathe in the coolness of the